What if the device saving lives in hospitals right now is a relic from the 1990s, one beep away from disaster if it fails? In a world of crashing apps and dead batteries, this unsung hero never quits. Hold on tight, because its story might just change how you look at technology forever. Ever heard that piercing beep echo through a hospital hallway and wondered why doctors still clip pagers to their scrubs instead of relying on smartphones? It's relatable. We've all cursed at dropped calls, low signal bars, or phones dying right when we need them most. But what if this so-called outdated gadget holds lessons modern tech still hasn't learned? The pager was never about style, it was about trust. And in the race to stay connected, it quietly became one of the most reliable communication devices ever built. Before the pager, messages had to find people. Doctors were paged over loudspeakers. Police relied on radio dispatchers. But in 1949, Motorola introduced the Handie-Talkie radio pocket pager, a pocket-sized receiver that could alert a single person over a private frequency. The idea was simple: send a tone, deliver a message, and make sure the right person heard it, fast. By the 1950s, pagers spread through hospitals and fire departments. Early versions were bulky and could only beep. But they worked everywhere, through concrete, steel, and chaos. By the 1960s, Motorola's Pageboy became the first commercially successful pager. No screen, no words, just a tone and a duty to respond. Then came the 1980s, and the pager evolved into a cultural icon. Digital displays appeared, numeric messages came through, executives wore them like badges of power, doctors wore them like lifelines. If your pager went off, it meant someone needed you, and that meant you mattered. Each beep carried weight. Maybe it was a code. 911 meant emergency. 143 meant I love you. In a world before emojis and red receipts, those tiny screens and cryptic numbers were how urgency and emotion traveled. Under the hood, though, the pager was a masterpiece of engineering simplicity. It doesn't send anything, it only listens. Unlike cell phones, which constantly negotiate signals with towers, a pager just waits for one strong radio broadcast. That broadcast, sent from a powerful transmitter, can cover an entire city, even reach underground basements and elevator shafts. That's why hospitals never let them go. Where cell signals drop and Wi-Fi cuts out, pagers keep working. Their frequency bands, typically in the VHF and UHF ranges, punch through barriers that kill modern wireless. In an emergency, that matters. When every second counts, the simplest tool often wins. A pager can receive alerts even when the power grid fails, even during disasters, because it runs on its own network. And that tiny AA battery, it can last for weeks. Reliability isn't an optional feature, it's the whole mission. That's why even today, an estimated 80% of hospitals in North America still maintain pager systems alongside smartphones and secure apps. It's not nostalgia, it's survival. The pager also changed how humans interacted with communication. It introduced a pause, a deliberate gap between receiving a message and replying. You couldn't just text back instantly. You had to find a phone, make a call, or respond in person. That delay built reflection into communication, something modern messaging erased. For doctors, that beep wasn't just a sound. It was a call to action, sometimes to save a life. Many describe keeping their first pager as a kind of medical badge of honor, a physical reminder of every long night and critical decision. Being handed one during residency felt like being trusted with responsibility itself. And yet, while medicine kept the pager alive, pop culture gave it personality. From Wall Street brokers to teenage kids in the 1990s, pagers became part of an identity. Rappers rapped about them. Movies showed them flashing before critical calls. In Japan, pager culture even led to secret numeric codes. 840 meant good night, 828 meant love you. Then came the fall. In 1993, Motorola introduced the Flex protocol. Faster, longer messages, more users. But just as the network expanded, cell phones exploded onto the market. Voice, text, and data crushed the pager's business model almost overnight. By the 2000s, most of the world moved on, but hospitals didn't, and neither did emergency responders or nuclear technicians. When failure isn't an option, the pager remains undefeated. Think about that. In an era where our most advanced tech often fails under pressure, one of the oldest wireless tools still holds the record for reliability. It's the ultimate example of manual mode thinking, a tool stripped of distraction, focused on one essential task and doing it perfectly. Someday, a new generation of secure messaging apps might finally replace it. Encrypted hospital systems, redundant cellular networks, and smart wearables are catching up. But until they can match the pager's uptime and signal reach, that little black box will keep beeping, a heartbeat of reliability in a world addicted to convenience. So the next time you hear that sharp beep, 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 remember, it's not retro. It's resilience. It's the sound of a tool that never forgot what it was built to do. This was the pager, the beep that refused to die. This was manual mode, when a simple radio wave trumped the complexity of the internet.